Good evening, my fine fellow patriots and gold and silver stackers. If you're not a gold and silver stacker with me already, it is certainly not too late to start. It's always a good time to be buying. However, right now may be one of the best times to buy. In some fairly new news, it was definitely new to me. I have been looking at this information at this Basel III, and as you can see on the article title, Basel III, as Basel III gets closer to reality, central banks are buying gold hand over fist because it carries no capital requirements. And this particular article was published in February 7th, 2019. But just recently, I've seen three of my favorite people to follow for gold and silver stacking, one being Mike Maloney and another being Duane of the Silver Bullet, Silver Shield Silver Company. They're talking about this all at the same time because as we are getting closer and closer to the dollar possibly ending because the value keeps going down and down and down, the major bank that oversees all the central banks, it's like the one central bank of all central banks, it's called the Bank of International Settlements. It is a sovereign state that's in Switzerland and owned by none other than the Rothschilds, but they are the ones that make these decisions, and they've got these Basel I, Basel II, 3, and I think even 4 and 5, but Basel III specifically speaks of returning gold back to money. So what does that mean? Well, these banks and financial advisors and all these people will tell you don't buy gold and silver because it's worthless, when they're totally lying to you. And what we are really seeing is banks are buying up tons and tons of gold and silver, because we know that JP Morgan bought a bunch of silver over a 4-year period, and they're transitioning back to this being at face value 100% what it's worth, and they've been falsely pushing down the value of gold and silver because they don't want you to buy it, because they want you to trust the dollar and believe in the dollar. So they pump up these digital illusions of wealth, and specifically it was bonds. They could get interest rates on their bonds, and with cash, it wasn't getting interest back on it. And so bonds is a tier 1 asset valued at face value, and gold at tier 3, which was about 50% of the value. And so with Basel III, when we put gold back as tier 1 asset and silver, that'll be 100% face value. And before they do that, that's why they're buying up so much of the gold and silver. Now, so some people might think, well, that means I should be buying gold if they're buying up gold. Well, not necessarily, because they're dealing with trillions of dollars when there's not even trillions of dollars of gold in the investment arena. And so they're buying up all this gold because it's going to keep them liquid in a crash. They'll be able to meet all the needs and obligations of the bank. But our system, the Fed has admitted that the system is over leveraged far more than 2008. There will be a systemic crash, and before that, hyperinflation. And so they need the gold. They're dealing in trillions of dollars, and there's much less silver, right, in investable form. So silver will be the thing to own. All the banks will own the gold, and the prices will shoot up like crazy. And as you go into the most safest and liquid form of money, which is gold and silver, we're going to see that the value go much, much higher, and silver might even reach an exponential rate that exceeds gold, because the silver market is too small for most bankers, to really deal in when they need to cover everything that they need to, all their debt or all their loans or everything needs to be covered in the trillions, so they need the gold. And so this will be a huge advantage for us silver stackers, because it will definitely shoot up in value. We will be able to buy a lot more stuff. I'm not telling you to turn your silver back into dollars. You'll be able to use it as money because it will be a tier 1 asset. It will be 100% at face value, which means it will be worth way more dollars than it is right now. It's being significantly held down. And like I said, it may supersede gold's value, which means it could be worth $2,000 an ounce. I mean, or more. It sounds crazy to some people, and you don't have to agree with it. But some of the biggest names in the gold and silver and investments of any kind, these people are saying this, especially Mike Maloney. And real estate is not a good thing to hold on to without your silver, because it's also being falsely pumped up as something tangible, and gold and silver are the only things that are tangible money. I'm telling you, if you haven't started, start now. I can help you. Silver is affordable. You can do it. I've been doing it, and in 2 years I've stacked a ton of silver, and I'm doing far better than probably close to 99% of the country. And the people that don't believe me, I won't want to say I told you so when this SHIT hits the fan. So thanks for listening, guys. I will answer any questions you have. My website is www.7kmetals.com/Lady Liberty, and I will put the link in the description box. You can also email me at ladyliberty@countermail.com. Countermail. I will put that in the description box as well. So heed what I'm telling you and let me help you so that you do not have to suffer in the next crash. And as always, God bless. You are what matters. You are why I'm here. Good night, Patriots.